What's up, y'all? It's May from Pearl Wood. I wanted to get on here real quick. As you can see, I'm in my car again. I wanted to get on here real quick and chat about the government and what the government thinks it is and what government needing to be governed, where that comes from, and also if you're ready or have already been not needing to be governed by anything outside of you, then I was also going to offer a little bit of perspective on that too. So first things first, so the government's been shut down for a minute. I'm not gonna lie, as somebody that's always been what they call, I guess, a rebel or hard-headed or head in the clouds, whatever. The government has been shut down in my mind, in my world, but to be in reality with the rest of everybody, the government has been shut down, and this has been the longest shutdown. Is it the longest shutdown ever, or just in some years? Either way, it's been a long time since the government shut down. As you can see, the representatives that are voted in, they are choosing to play devil's advocate and use the bipartisan dynamic of their assembly, their Congress, their Senate, and all that stuff. Look, y'all, I promise you, I knew this stuff to a T back in the day. I'm just so far removed from it, but their assembly of representatives are trying to play the blame game, the point the finger game, and all this other stuff, okay? Meanwhile, people's lives are being directly affected. So, in the midst of all that, in the midst of being frantic, not knowing what's going to happen, and how dare this happen, the government's supposed to be well ran and put together, the cacophony of emotion. In the midst of all that, people still did the human thing and came together and figured it out. So I know I'm not the only one that noticed and notices how that is proof in and of itself how much we really can govern ourselves, okay? And everybody should get more in tune with the ways of their local government, and maybe near distant local governments, like, I'm in Kentucky, but Indiana's close, and so is Tennessee. So you know what I mean? I should know how things function in Kentucky, but it wouldn't hurt if I understood how the government flows in Indiana or Tennessee, as an example. So that's one tidbit that I feel like I've pulled out of all these things. So if you're on the fence and feeling like, am I crazy for thinking that we don't need the government? I just want to let you know, no, you're not crazy. And then I wanted to keep it really real, and this was more of like a funny thought that I had, but I'm sure there's some sense to it. But the sun and the moon is the president and the vice president, okay? If you ever feel like you're confused and you want to know who or what's running the show, that sun and that moon. Why? Because those are our luminaries. The luminaries are the airways, veins, I don't know a good word, pathways. The luminaries are our pathways in which light gets into the body, okay? In the actual body, our actual body anatomy, there are things called lumens. That's essentially what they do. They're pathways to allow, don't quote me, I'm not exactly sure what it allows to flow. I don't know if it's more of a neurological thing or more of like a physiological thing. I'm still learning myself, but I know about it. Luminaries, the sun and the moon, as well as the lumens in the body, they carry their pathways of light to the whole body, is how I understand it. So, as you know, the sun changes zodiac signs approximately every 30 days. And the moon changes zodiac sign approximately every 2.5 days. So, you know, you could look to what sign the sun and the moon is, and as well as when it comes to the moon, the phase of the moon, to see the flow of energy and what's going on. Okay, now granted, I'm gonna tell you this is that's something you're gonna have to practice, and it's a dedication. But considering the way the world's moving and the relationship between the people and the government, we all need to start getting back in tune with natural ways of telling time and natural ways of telling what's going on, even if, God forbid the worst thing happens and you just get completely disconnected. There's always ways to stay connected to the flow of life here on Earth. Okay, y'all, don't let them... Look. A government that chooses to fund and filter fear and confusion and choose convenience over sustainability and things like that, that's not nothing we need to continue pouring our time or resources in. None of our resources in. Okay? So yes, that sun is that president and that moon is the vice president. Okay. So that's a little bit of astrology tidbit insight. And what else? And as far as feeding yourself, because I know, federal workers, they were out of money. Okay? We gotta start letting these people play with our time. It's time. It's time. Okay. Now, granted, nothing's gonna happen overnight, you guys. So, no, I'm not telling y'all to quit y'all's jobs. I'm not telling y'all to do nothing reckless. But do know you're not crazy if you are starting to see the unravelings and starting to see how much effort is put into maintaining stuff that is obviously a lie, or at bare minimum, not what it appears to be. Okay, y'all. I would say that's all I gotta say for right now. I want to keep it short. I'm sure I'll have another video because we had the full moon in Taurus. Today's the 11/11 portal, so I feel like, that's my 11/11 offering for y'all. The closer that your governing source is to the inside of who you are, the better. Okay? But on the most societal level, or the most relational level I can say is, you guys, don't be afraid to start mapping out your life with less government interaction. Okay? Start taking your health, your education, your infrastructure, your finances, start taking that more serious, and start being ready to, do that more for yourself and your community and your loved ones. Okay? Because times are real out here, and yeah, it's only a matter of time before the jig is up for everybody. This is a wave that I would say is a good one to ride, people. We done all been through so many things just since the 2000s started, and then when we had the 2020s started, you guys, we can do it. I love y'all. Stay sharp and stay beautiful. Okay? Because we got this. We keep waking up and we still here. That's all I gotta say. And if anybody needs anything more, then they're just greedy. And, they say, God don't like greedy. Peace.